So this is, my part of the show is just a reflection of my love for the garden and gardening. And I hope you guys all are enjoying it. I'm going to pass this on to Nick.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you for coming also. For my part of the show, I guess I'd really like to pick up on the idea of duality, and I'd like to add to that list the very old and also the very new. If you've ever stood in an old place, I don't know, the Spanish missions of the Southwest, some of the old cathedrals in Europe, you probably came away with that sense of being somewhere that and feeling connected to a time outside of the present time. And I think that's really kind of what drives me to do the Mosaics. My interest in ancient architecture and history kind of leads me to think in that way, to make a connection between a very long past and also the present as well. So that's really where mine is coming from as well. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope everyone enjoys the art we want. Thank you guys so much for coming, and I would also like to give a huge thanks to my mom for inviting me, and also to the gallery for having me. This is an honor. So thank
I would also like to introduce Erin Mills, and she's the director of the Copper Butterfly Center. And would you like to say a few words?
Good evening, everyone. It's been a really fun time here so far, standing here among all these beautiful pieces of art, and thank you so much for inviting us out here to take part in this really exciting evening. I'm the director of the Copper Butterfly Center. I've got a table over here with some live butterflies and some pin specimens if you haven't stopped by, as well as some information about some of the programs that we offer. We do a lot of educational programs. We're involved in a lot of conservation with our tropical butterflies and here in Houston, and we love to talk to people about how you can open up your home and your property to a butterfly garden and welcoming the butterflies. So and we really are appreciative of this piece of art with the proceeds going to help support our educational programs and all of our beautiful butterflies. So it's a really amazing piece of art. I might have to go bid on it myself. So thank you all for coming.
Before 6:30.
Yeah, oh gosh. Oh. So I hope you'll come by and talk to me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. And coming out to the Butterfly Center at HM&S, there's always really exciting stuff going on over there. So thank you.
On second thought, we'll probably extend the bidding period to about 7 or so when we can do the actual drawing. So, do your bits. Thanks, everyone.
Can we ask some questions?
Oh yes, you may ask questions if you like.
Oh, that's not the same question. It's a great exhibit, but there's so much diversity. Like around here, the corner, they're very soft, and you have the cutouts. And these ones have these, strong, distinct circles. And I was done looking, and then I discovered this ball moss over here, which is so. As an artist, how do you do so many different styles?
I'm crazy. Some people like to stick with one thing and just really explore it. That's not my personality. Somehow I'm like bouncing off the walls constantly, all the time. I hope that one can see the connections between the art as a developmental stage, but for this show, I purposefully wanted to embrace a diversity because that's what a garden is. Also. Okay, any more?
Can you discuss your use of paper?
So I am an architect by training, and I'm old enough to make models out of cardboards and stuff, so I'm really good with an X-Acto plate. I have been more interested in textural surfaces more and more as an artist, and so this is just one way of exploring the texture on the painting surface. Anything else?
So, you are cutting strips with your X-Acto plate? And you're doing magazines or cards?
So, a lot of these are magazines. These are actually pages from a couple of books that I read a long time ago. One is a philosophy book called Good and Evil by Michael Sherman, and the other one is a fiction book called Tale of a Servant. And that wasn't such a good book, so I had no trouble cutting that one out. But the idea was I was studying tree barks. Every time I would go out for a walk, I'd notice tree barks and started thinking about the age of trees and how some trees can live a long time. And I wanted to tie that idea into what Nathan was talking about, the past and the present, and also how trees make books, and then those books pass down ideas and stories and tales. So it's just that. What else? And
So then what is this card? Is this cardboard on top?
this is pages of paper on canvas. Yeah, and then some of the strips, like for the ode to butterflies and paean to moths, some of the forms are made out of, and this is really cool, of postcards from artists here that they no longer want. I kind of like, who's got postcards of the extra they don't want, and I got 4 artists giving me a bunch, so that's what they're made out of. So if you know their work, you can look at the 3-dimensional and say, hey, there's a Donna. My dad and my sister just walked in, and I wanted to thank my father for this love of gardening, and he still gardens. He's 90 years old, and he does bonsai. Wow. And he was also the one that used to take me to museums and galleries when I was little. So, anyone else? Well, thank you so much for coming, and to yourself. The show will be up till March 5th, I think. And please bid on that piece because it benefits the Butterfly Center at a really good cost. And so there. Thank you all.